Hello, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to show you something that I'm doing in Bitwig for this particular track that I haven't really done before. And it's kind of a neat technique. And the source of inspiration for this was listening to an artist called Edit, who is also a member of the Glitch Mob. And they use this technique, I think, in Glitch Mob tracks too. But I was listening to Edit's new album, and something that he does a lot is it sounds like he is gating sounds based off of note frequencies. And so as notes are changing in the track, either he's sidechaining to another track or and like listening to some sort of frequency, or he's just kind of feeding MIDI notes in and adjusting the gating of a particular sound based on a changing MIDI note. And so I was sort of thinking, how would I approach that in Bitwig? And one of the ways that you can do it is with an LFO modulator. And so what you do is you take an LFO, like I've got here on the tool, and then you would switch it to pitch of the current note. And then you can do this on any track. And the trick is to insert a note receiver um, before the tool device, and then after kind of the sounds that you're wanting to add a gate to. And then all you need to do is link up an instrument track that's going to be feeding notes in so that your LFO can listen to the notes on that track as opposed to whatever the track is that you're going to be gating. So I'm also doing something with an ADSR, and I'll show you that. But first, let's kind of listen to what this sounds like in practice. So I've got a track here that's got, it was taken from a vocal stem, but it's actually more like some effects that were added to the vocals, so it doesn't really sound like a vocal, but you can listen to what it sounds like when I play it. But what I'm doing is I'm gating instrument 4, which is just a blank track with MIDI on it. You have to go pretty low with notes if you want a lower frequency, so it's acting more like an LFO. So in this case, I'm using C2 and E2, which are notes within the scale of this track. And so that could be important for the gating. You probably want to stick with notes that are going to be oscillating at the same frequency as a lot of the rest of the notes in your track. And that's going to give you more of a consistent rhythm. But let's listen to the sound by itself and then listen to it in context of the track. So you can sort of hear the change in the gate happen as the note changes. I can move this note a little bit to make it more obvious too. So you hear that change there. And part of what this does is it creates some nice space in the track. Again, at kind of the same oscillating frequency as a lot of other notes in your track might be, especially maybe the lower range of your track that's doing more, neater oscillations, if that makes sense. Whereas kind of in the higher range, you might be adding some more effects and kind of throwing off the frequency in relationship to kind of the beat of the track. But let's listen to the track. So yeah, you probably heard something similar happening. I am doing this on this track as well, the same technique. So yeah, kind of, I stumbled into this technique on this track, and I was like, I'm just gonna go crazy with it and do it on a couple different tracks. I think I've got at least one other one that I'm doing this on. Um, so it's kind of just a different way to approach gating. Um, and I like it. And so something else I'm doing here to kind of give you an idea of how you can take this further is I'm using this ADSR, which is going to run off of, again, the note that is coming in through the note receiver on our MIDI track. And I'm modulating the depth of this LFO as well as the rate. So when the note comes in, it's going to shoot back on the depth as well as the speed of the LFO. And so it's going to sort of let it both speed up and increase in the gating that's happening uh, as the note dissipates, because that's kind of how I've got the ADSR set up. And the decay is kind of determining how long it takes to dissipate or decay, obviously. So I've got it set to just like 77%, 77.5. So we can listen to what this sounds like. So it starts out a bit slower and then speeds up. So that's just one idea to kind of take that a little bit further. There's endless possibilities with what you could do with this kind of technique, with extending it further with modulators and everything like that. But if you didn't know about this before, hopefully you find this cool, and you can find a use for this, hopefully as well. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.